job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and I'm tired. Fuck that fucking job, all that bitching and crying. And I'm saying, fuck that fucking job, nigga. Hey, fuck that fucking job, bitch. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, bitch, I done had enough. Fuck that fucking job, I'm watching everybody work. Fuck that fucking job, that little pay by the hour. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, my back hurting and I'm hungry. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, nigga, I'm sober. Yeah, caught between the two, get this money, go home. Yeah, all these people so, now these bitches, they messy. First day I came in, I bossed up on the bosses. And they promise nigga this, promise nigga that. Want my ass to work, then bring that paper back. Sean, where you been? I been taking the shit. Knowing damn well that I don't fucking sleep. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and I'm tired. Fuck that fucking job, all that bitching and crying. And I'm saying, fuck that fucking job, nigga. Hey, fuck that fucking job, bitch. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, me and bro, we just posted. Look him in the eye, shake my head disappointed. We gotta visualize, summarize, execute. All these people dropping like fly, why the fuck we still here? Man, fuck that fucking job, when I pull up I hate it. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, that's on all of their faces. Fuck that fucking job, man, I'm already lit. Man, I hear one thing, boy, you bound to get hit. Man, the bills cross a nigga's brain. Damn, that's how you keep a nigga damn a slave. Damn, money supposed to be a tool. Damn, for a purpose, what's your purpose for? Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and I'm tired. Fuck that fucking job, all that bitching and crying. And I'm saying, fuck that fucking job, nigga. Fuck that fucking job, bitch. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying.
Shout out Boom Man now.
Get ready for an unforgettable experience at the Midwest Fire Weekend from August the 1st to the 4th. Join us as we bring together all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians under one banner for 4 days of powerful brotherhood and sisterhood.
I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived, they don't know how I did it. Got it out. Day 1 kicks off with the Round Table of Truth podcast featuring Captain of 13,000 Mauquai. Also, we will be having a breakfast and sip event at 12355 Gratiot Avenue, Detroit, Michigan. Then, we will be having scripture breakdown with none other than 12 Shield General Muhammad from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Then later, we will be having game night. On August the 2nd, we will be having a street teaching and a food and clothing giveaway at the Detroit Transit Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then you could join 13 Shield Commanding General Yahanna for a powerful discussion. Are demons real and are they among us? From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. After that, we will be having late night activities at our bar on 21530 Gratiot Avenue. On August the 3rd, we will be visiting the Charles H. Wright Museum from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And join us at the Action Impact Gun Range from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
be having an album release party at Flood Bar and Grill for none other than Captain of 13,000 of Clyde Abaraya. Then, last but not least, we will be having the 7th annual Midwest Barbecue at Chandler Park from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is not like any other barbecue you ever been to. Bring your children, bring your family and friends. It's free food, and it's a safe environment.
If phone ain't on it, what is it?
Also, get you a room at our hotel for special rates. Book now for a comfortable stay close to all of the action.
Purchase your tracks today.
Support the Midwest Fire Weekend by donating to our GoFundMe. Visit the GoFundMe link in the description or scan the QR code to make a difference.
Boston, it made niggas regroup. Had to shed light on the false image. I.S.U.P.K whole court. Now who the fuck won scrimmage to?
We getting ready to have a Midwest Fire Weekend.
Then the I.S.U.P.K Chicago coming at you once again to let you know about the Midwest Fire Weekend.
Came to speak to you about some events we're having in Detroit, Michigan. Fire Weekend, Thursday, August 1st to Sunday, August 4th.
Inviting all single blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians to our Midwest Fire Weekend.
And you know what it is. It's that time of the year again. It's the Midwest Fire Weekend, hosted by Captain 13th Out Marquardt, August 1st through the 4th.
Real I.S.U.P.K Kentucky here to invite every so-called black, Hispanic, and North American Indian to the Midwest Fire Weekend, Detroit, Michigan, August 1st through the 4th.
Tune into the Midwest Fire Weekend from August 1st to the 4th.
Don't miss out on this incredible event. Join us for the Midwest Fire Weekend from August the 1st to the 4th. Visit www.isupk.com or scan the QR code for more information.
All right, let's clap it up. Shalom, DC, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible. And the truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews. That our oppressor, the white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We're not affiliated with any other Christian church or Hebrew Israelite group. 1 West is home of the truth. And if it's not 1 West under Commanding General Yahanna, it's not the truth.
That's work.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
what we're going to get into tonight. Before we get into tonight, I'm going to go ahead and do what the Most High has commanded us to do. And light this incense.
That's work.
So that we can so that he can smell his favorite scent. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's fire right there. That's fire right there. Let's get that going. Let's get that going. Nice and toasty.
That's right.
I would make reference to an older game, but I ain't gonna do that, you know. Okay. No problem. No problem. I got some more juice for it. I got some more juice. Now, what we getting into tonight and every night is how the way our oppressor has destroyed us totally and utterly. Shalom, brother. What's going on? has totally and utterly destroyed us. You know what I'm saying? And how effective he's done this, this destruction. He's done this destruction so effectively and efficiently that we can't even fathom, how deep it goes. Like we know on face value, how the oppressor is. We automatically know that, but we don't really know. You know what I'm saying? We don't really know. I'm about to give you something that I just seen. Hey, Brock, if you could, there's a case right under there. We're gonna use that, Baba Kashaw. Yeah. And if you could grab me one, Baba Kashaw, the water. And we're gonna see just how diabolical these bastards are. You know what I'm saying? The water. We're gonna see just how diabolical these bastards really, really are. Like we know that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We know this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But do we know? Like really, do we know?
Right.
We seen a ton of them slave movies and seen how the way they treated us. You know what I'm saying? We read history books and see how the way Jim Crow really was. But I had to hear. I heard Chris Rock say something like people don't really get how bad Jim Crow was. You know what I'm saying? Like we read about it, but we don't really get it.
Right.
What he was saying is, Jim Crow is bad. White people can do just about anything they wanted to do, right? They said if Esau's family didn't have food, they would just kick down your door and take whatever you got from your family, from our family, and then go and feed their family. And there was nothing that we can do about it. Like, do you understand like how diabolical that is? You know what I'm saying? Just kick down your door. That's supposed to be your castle. And then smack you basically in front of your woman and your kids. And there's nothing that you can do. There is nothing that you can do to stop these bastards. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine that. Just imagine, you live and you going somewhere. Times is hard. Times has always been really hard for us here in America.
Right.
Or in this hemisphere. Doesn't matter if you're in Central or South America. It's been hard for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Now, just imagine you got whatever you got, your little victuals, your little, whatever food scraps that you got provide for your family. And then some oppressor comes out, kicks the door open, and takes that from you. And there's nothing that you can do. Who are you gonna call on them? You gonna call the police? Those are descendants of slave catchers. You know what I'm saying? It's probably his cousin. He's probably on the police force. You know what I'm saying? So what are you gonna do? You gonna get your neighbors and friends involved? And if that happens, you run the risk of having your whole community burned down. How do I know? Thank Rosewood. Thank Seneca Village. Thank Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? And there's a whole list of lakes that's on top of old, Negro towns and villages and whatnot. How about what's that? Not Dade City. Central. I think it was Central City down in Miami, where they basically destroyed our community and put a highway right through it, deemed it eminent domain, and said that you can't live here anymore because they want to put a highway through it. Come on, man. Come on. Now think about this. You're in trouble, right? You need some help. And the people who you're supposed to call for help doesn't help you. Who are you then to turn to? You know what I'm saying? They destroyed us so much that They wanted us to turn to them for everything. And then when we turn to them for something, they destroy us even further. You ever see somebody like on a movie hanging from a cliff and they're screaming for help? You know what I'm saying? Their fingers are slipping. You can see, the camera zooms in on their fingers, you know what I'm saying? And you see it like losing grip and oh man. And someone comes up and walks up and just looks at them and does scar. You know what I'm saying? And then just, either steps on their fingers and let them go. That's how our oppressor treats us. We scream out and cry out for help for them, and then they come and destroy us. How do I know this? I'm about to bring something up on TikTok that I seen that happened some time ago. And when I say it happened some time ago, the brother who was reporting on it, he reported on it probably like a year, some change ago. What happened in the story happened in the 60s and 70s and whatnot. And we're going to see exactly how devious and diabolical these bastards are. We're going to see. And I just listen to the story. Just listen to the story. If you could, Barack, put me up side by side to it. I'm gonna have you pause it and go and pause and go. But I just want everybody to listen to what's going on in the story.
The first one, right?
The first one, yeah.
A quick story that has me literally shaking right now. So for context, I drive trucks and I stop at this Denny's to grab a coffee because I'm addicted to caffeine. I went in there to get my coffee to go and then I walked to the bathroom. But as I'm walking to the bathroom, it's this old guy sitting to the left with about 12 people that's celebrating his 89th birthday. I got a call from my dispatcher.
Hold
He
on,
was
time
like,
out.
yo, you can chill, no rush. They're not ready for the freight, so you can relax a little.
He said the old dude was celebrating his 89th birthday. His friends and family was all around him and, celebrating how old he was, you know what I'm saying? And how long of a life this man had lived. And he had friends and family surrounding him. So let's keep that in mind. Keep going.
Little bit. Sat down, ordered some food. So now I'm sitting like across from the guy that's celebrating his birthday. Time goes by. I'm down there at the end of my meal, and everybody that basically came to celebrate with him had left. So now it's just him and his wife. So as I get up to go wash my hands, I see him and I give him a smile. I'm like, happy birthday, young man, 89. That's a lot of memory to have. Here's the thing. I don't even know why I said that. He could have had Alzheimer's. I'm not even sure what I meant by that. But that's what I said. And he said, well, thank you, young man. And he smiled. And he kind of just stared at me, and I just walked back there and washed my fucking hands.
Now,
so I come back, and his wife is gone. She's talking to some other lady that goes to the.
Just stay on that page so you can pause, right? So he says, happy birthday. He gave him a little something, whatever, and went on about his business. The dude said, thank you, and he just kind of looked at him, contemplating on what he was going to say, right? So he's looking at him, and he's the reason why he's looking at him is because everything that old man had been through, and he's just looking at him is like, man, where I come from, you know what I'm saying? When I say where I come from, where he came from, he's freaking damn near 90 years old, you know what I'm saying? And he's seen some stuff. Jim Crow really isn't that long ago. We know somebody. When did Jim Crow go away? It was like what, in the 60s, right? Something like that. We all know somebody who was alive in the 60s. That's what 60 years ago? It's about 60. We know someone who's 60, who's in their 60s, probably in the 70s. And we all know someone who knew someone who was in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? So it's not far-fetched that it was just that long ago. There's people still alive today that have done some wild and crazy stuff to us just because that was society's societal quo or whatnot, right? So he said, what he said. He just looked at him. He was like, and he just reminisced. You know how they have those those meme where someone just like has a Vietnam vet like flashback. That's kind of what was going on with this old man when his brother was talking to him, right? So play it again. Rewind it just a little bit.
At me, and I just walk back there and wash my fucking hands. So I come back and his wife is gone. She's talking to some other lady that goes to the same church they do. He sees me, he says, "Come here, come here, come here."
So they go to the same church. Go to the same church. That means they're worshiping the same God that most so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians worship. You know what I'm saying? Which is this bastard right here. They're praying to the same white Jesus, you know what I'm saying, that our grandmothers, pray to try and keep wicked bastards like this away from them. You know what I'm saying? Pray to this bastard to have, to just so that her sons and husband can get home safely, so that her daughter wouldn't be terrorized. And when they, was talking to someone they went to church with. Let's keep reading. Let's keep listening.
Say yes. And he said, "There are way too many things that
rewind it just a little bit."
And I said, "Yeah, man, you make this gone." She's talking to some other lady that goes to the same church they do. And he sees me, he says, "Come here, come here, come here." And I said, "Yes." And he said, "There are way too many things that I wish I could forget." And I said, "Yeah, man, you make it to damn near 100 years old. I'm pretty sure you got a handful of regrets."
Pause.
And he looked at me with the most serious.
So he's saying, he just wants to forget some things, and just us being us, we're thinking, yeah, man, there's probably some stuff that you probably did want to forget, like that time you should have asked for a promotion and you didn't, or you wanted to go out with some broad, some chick, but you didn't. Somebody talked to you some type of greasy way, and you stood up, for yourself or your something, innocent that you probably think that he's regretting. Little did he know he's talking to a goddamn serial killer. We're gonna see how a serial okay, by definition, a serial killer is someone who has, I ain't even think I could say that, but a serial, life insurance activator is someone who activates 3 or more life insurances. You know what I'm saying? So someone who's done that deed to 3 people or more, whether it's all at the same time, like in the auto, whatever, but someone who's done that to 3 people or more. Let's listen to what he has to say at his confession. Rewind just a taste.
Too many things that I wish I could forget. And I said, "Yeah, man, you make it to damn near 100 years old. I'm pretty sure you got a handful of regrets." And he looked at me with the most serious look ever and said, "You have no idea." Well, now I'm curious. Do tell. He said, "I used to be a firefighter through the 60s and 70s. I said, "That's what's up. That's a very commendable job." And he said, "Yeah, it should be." He said the 60s and 70s was a different time in every way possible. You know that, right? And I'm just like, shit.
So 60s and 70s. What was going on during the 60s and 70s?
Like a complete sidebar. Not the brother, but complete sidebar. What was going on in the 60s? I.S.U.P.K. Salaki.
Right?
Of course,
he was waking up.
I was trying to stay on topic.
We was waking up. No, you was right. You was right. He was right. But you had something?
I was just saying segregation.
Yeah, segregation. You know what I'm saying? Civil rights. There's a whole lot of protesting. 70s was the Vietnam War. You know what I'm saying? Reagan. Was it Reagan? Yeah, it was Reagan who was in office, who had an advisor get caught on tape saying, we need to target niggas and hippies. You know what I'm saying? We need to target them and get them out the way. And then I'm paraphrasing right now. Basically, the whole world will be better. We just get them out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Keep them high. You know what I'm saying? Funnel the drugs into their communities and get them out of our way, essentially. Now, this is one of the advisors to the president of the United States. You don't think he's advising the president of this stuff? Or you don't think he got that idea from the president? Like, come on. The president of the United States. So he's saying, you know, he was a firefighter during the 60s and 70s. Now, I was taught, as bad as the police was, if we ever needed help, we need to yell out fire. You know what I'm saying? Don't yell for the police. Don't call for the police because they just as soon as get there and put you in cuffs or worse than to help you out. I just saw just a reminder. You remember what happened back in, I want to say a year or two ago in Arizona, where this couple had their 4-year-old daughter was going through the Dollar General, and the little kid took something, and the store called the police on them, and it was like 4 or 5 cop cars out there, guns drawn, about to do away with the whole family. The woman's pregnant and everything. Why? Because her daughter, who didn't know no better, saw something that she wanted and just took it. The parents didn't know she had it. So instead of going to the parents like, hey, your daughter took that, they went and called the police. And the police almost exterminated the whole family. I just saw like an update on that, like something like three of the police were fired. It took 3 separate investigations in order to get that happen. But the 3 separate investigations that happened recommended that they get suspended. That was the recommendation. But the chief was like, nah, they gotta go. It's still not enough. You terrorize a family. You put that unborn baby at risk by causing all that undue stress over $1, over a $1 item that only one person knew that had it, which was the store owner or the person that worked in the store. Like, come on, man. If you call the police, that very really could be the end of a so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian. Time and time it shows us, what's going on in our community, so-called our community, because we don't own nothing in there. We're not allowed to own anything in there. Now, why would you say something like that? And Dr. King, march far right. Nigga, please. You think, man? It's so ingrained in the United States of America that nothing's for us. Nothing is really for us. But I'm saying that to say this: we have such a deep mistrust for not just the government, but police in general, that we're taught to seek help from an ambulance or a firefighter or something like that. Don't call the police. You know what I'm saying? Because that could be the end of it, right? So this guy is a firefighter, and he's saying that times was very different back in the 60s and 70s. Let's keep rolling.
Yeah, no shit. He said, back in those times, I was a way different man, and who knew that we'd get to the point where we are in society today, and I'd be feeling the way I'm feeling about the decisions that I made back in those times. So I'm like, man, fucking tell me, bro.
So, he's leading up to it.
Dude speaking subliminals.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, it gets bad.
Yeah, exactly.
His suspense level is insane.
Yeah, but he's basically saying, I was a different man back then. Were you? Or were you just being the man that you were raised to be? He said he was around friends and family. Who's to say that the kids he raised isn't like that? You know what I'm saying? Who's to say that? There was another TikTok. These people, man. I love it. Personally, I love it. The reason why I love it is because I want them to take the mask off. I want them to take the mask off and show us who they really are. There was a you know Beyonce came out with a country music album, right?
Mm-hmm.
And white people, so like, you know, oppressors didn't like that. I don't know why they didn't like that, because country music comes from Negroes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It comes from us. It comes from, you know, the blues and whatnot. You hear country music, it's all like a sad song, a sad story. It comes from us. We were the first country stars. So this oppressor, you know, young oppressor said, was saying, she was like, I don't care if you're granny or if you're from the country or if your granny or your grandpa was from the country, you're not country. You know what I'm saying? You was picking. You wasn't planting. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't making money. You was being sold for money. And she was from Iowa. Where's Caitlin Clark from?
I think Iowa.
Iowa. Well, at least she went to Iowa.
That counts.
And right, at least she went to Iowa. And she's in Indiana, right? Cat Mashak said that the head of the Ku Klux Klan, they're still around. They're still around. Like the headquarters, somewhere, either Iowa or Indiana. Somewhere over there. So when this chick who is from Iowa said that, you know, people, you know, had a fit. You know what I'm saying? Was angry as all hell. I was angry, but it's controlled, it's measured. I'm glad she said that, because, you know, just taking the mask off of people. You know what I'm saying? And she never apologized for it. She never apologized for it. In the world of the society that we're living in, people get canceled for saying less than what she said. You know what I'm saying? But nothing happened to her. By the way, she was in college. You know what she was in college for? Being a nurse. Being a nurse. So if anybody had, you know, needed some health care, and she was, you know, one of the people that oversees your, you know, your health, man, you think you are coming out of that, you know, all right? You think if you tell her, hey, listen, I got some pain here, or because of this, you think she's gonna believe that? No. And last time I checked, ain't Beyonce from the country? Ain't Houston the South? Ain't Houston in Texas? Don't country singers come from Texas too? I could be wrong. These people, man. These people getting too, how they would say, getting too big for their britches. But let's continue on with this devil. What this devil firefighter had to say. Rewind it just a bit, Baba Shaw.
Made back in those times. So I'm like, man, if you want to fucking tell me.
Is anything on any questions online? Any questions in the room? Just let me know.
Online. Yeah, some comments.
Mm-hmm. What's the comment say?
Bunyamin said slave patrol, same badge, different uniform.
Yep.
Shell had to answer your question, what was going on in the 60s and 70s, segregation.
I don't think I can see this.
She was saying that she also, Sister Shell said that she's seen this video on TikTok as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
It's like, can y'all see this up here?
And the Sister Shell had also asked, yeah, that's the Lord right there.
That is.
But being that you just got that back up, the sister that asked earlier in the class, what's his favorite scent? Talking about the Most High.
Frankincense and myrrh.
Right.
That's the Most High's favorite scent. And whenever you see it smoky in here, that's what's burning. That's what's being burnt in here. Frankincense and myrrh.
Right. And that's it on the comments and questions.
All right, let's go back to the. Did I answer the question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to to the video. So the brother's getting anxious, like, hey man, tell me what the hell is going on. I got to know. I'm invested. Yeah, press play, Bobby.
Bro. So right before he took a very long pause, he looked at me and said, back in those times, it was very common for firefighters that looked like me to leave.
He said it was very common. It was very, back in those days, it was very common for this stuff to happen. Now, if you think it was very common back then, and if you look at the makeup of the fire department right now, it's not much difference. The makeup, the physical makeup, it's not much difference. Not much difference. Let's rewind it just a bit.
Said back in those times, it was very common for firefighters that looked like me to leave people that looked like you in burning houses and buildings and horrible situations just to say they couldn't get to us. Pause. He said more times than he'd like.
Rewind that. Rewind what he just said. I want everybody to hear what he just said. Now these are people that we are supposed to call when we need help. We're supposed to call these people when we need help. And this is what he's saying. He had to say that it was very common for this to happen back in those days. Keep going. Play it, Bubba Show.
Pause. He looked at me and said, back in those times, it was very common for firefighters that looked like me to leave people that looked like you in burning houses and buildings and horrible situations just to say they couldn't get to us.
Just to say,
he said more times than he'd like to admit.
Just to say that they couldn't get to us. So they know that one of us is in a building, is trapped in a car, is trapped somewhere, you know what I'm saying? They don't always just go where like to fires. They go they get there for medical emergencies. They get there for car accidents, they get there for train accidents and whatnot. So all these bad situations, you know, the police can't perform all these, you know, acts. You have to get like emergency first responders, and the first responders are the fire departments. So you get into a car accident, they see who's in the car, man, jaws of life just, you know, ain't working. It's too much fire, or, you know, or the fire can start out just at any moment, standing around for 3 hours. I don't know if fire can start out anymore. We can't get any close. Burning building, man, the fire's over there. And we're over here. They come in like, man, we just can't get to them. They know who was in there. Why? Because they segregated us. You know what I'm saying? We're in a certain specific part of town. We're in certain buildings. They know who we are and where we are at all times. So when there's an emergency, like a fire breaks out or something like that, what street? What building? Oh, on that side of those side of the tracks. All right, we'll get there. And they go back to playing their cards. Yeah. All right. Let's finish this hand real quick. We gotta at least pretend, you know, we gotta go over there. So then they finally get over there. And then, man, we just the fire's too hot. Fire's raging too much. We just can't get there. Firefighter said it out his mouth, saying, you know, we used to do this. We used to do this. This was common practice. Common practice. Something that they would do all the time. You know what I do all the time? When I get in my car, I either turn the air on or turn the heat on, depending on how hot it is or how cold it is. If someone gets in the car with me, they're not saying that's strange. Why? Because that's something common. So if he did it, how many other people did it? How many other departments did it? Not just in his where he was, you know, doing it. And he said in the 60s and 70s. So that's 2 decades he was doing this. 2 decades, 20 years. And he didn't think, man, this is messed up. He didn't think that, nah, man, we shouldn't be doing this. These, how the way they say we're human, we're all human. He didn't think about that. He thought of us as less than. His co-workers thought of us as less than, not even worthy enough to try and go and save, even when it was possible. Let's keep playing.
He said more times than he'd like to admit, he would hear screaming black people and children
and
in burning buildings and houses.
And children, screaming black people. And so it wasn't just like, all right, you know, this black man's lived long enough. You know, he got to go. We just got to rid the earth of. No, he's saying women and children. And children. What the kids got to do with anything? First of all, what did we do to piss you off so much that you won't even lift a finger? You won't even put the hole. So you would put the holes on us when we're trying to say that you don't treat us right. The holes on us that's supposed to be fighting fires because it comes out at such a high velocity that you know the fires are so raging hot that you can't stand close to it. So you got to be 10, 20, 30 feet out, and it has to reach high up in order to, you know, to get those fires on, you know, multi-level buildings or whatnot. But you get up close on us 5 feet away and then put the holes on us enough to rip our skins apart. But you can't put the fire, the holes on the fire to help us from burning alive. From burning alive, you would say, you would hear somebody screaming in one room, and then you would purposely go in the other. Someone else comes back over here. Hey, man, you hear that? Nope, I ain't hear that. Oh yeah, you're right. Let's keep going. Let's search the rest of the building. Search the rest of the area. Mm-hmm.
And this was something that was common in the 60s and 70s.
This is something that's common. This is what he was saying. Yes. And who's to say it's not coming right now? Who's to say? You know what I'm saying? We got video evidence of cops doing things to us now. We got video evidence of cops saying that they feared for their life when, man, what's that brother's name? In Colorado. They feared for his life. And he was nothing but, you know, 5'6", like 130 pounds. He was, you know, he had a mask on because he had like some sort of deficiency where he was cold all the time, and they feared for his life and they killed him. If there was no video, and it was video evidence of that, and they got away. They got away with that. They're still on the job right now. Who's to say that these firefighters, there's firefighters out here that's doing the same thing today, now? I can't put it past them. They have a history of doing this stuff. They have a history of doing this stuff. And the reason why they have a history of doing this stuff is because who knows how firefighters came about. Firefighters came about.
I know.
Yeah.
Like that, I know who was the first, you know, so-called firefighters with the Irish, the prisoners that was brought over there.
I'm not sure if there was criminals.
Criminals, not prisoners. Criminals, and there was the Irish.
Yeah. They were causing so much ruckus. There's so much disturbances, you know, so much crime that the oppressors, the government developed a job for them, firefighters, and they told them to do this, and we'll pay you to stay out of trouble. So this is the origins of the firefighters who were supposed to come and save us from fires, or if we're in a car accident, the firefighters are on the scene trying to, you know, get you out of that vehicle if you're stuck or if you're injured. They're calling the firefighters. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, if you know anything about firefighters, that's like a generational job. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a family of firefighters. You know, my father was a firefighter. My uncles, my grandfather, my father on my mother's side was firefighters. My uncles on my mother's side was firefighters. The whole doggone family is firefighters. So if you, just like I said earlier, you don't think that this man taught his kids, raised his kids up to be a certain way, and if they became firefighters, just like how the way he learned how to be a firefighter, you don't think they didn't teach him? Hey, nah, don't risk your life for these niggas. They ain't worth it. They ain't worth it. Leave them to burn. They'll probably, kill themselves somehow, some way later on. So just leave them. Just leave them. They don't care about us. They don't care about us. You got an apocrypha?
That's what you need.
I need you to get me a scripture, Baba Rashad. I need you to give me a scripture. We're gonna get Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. And I believe, man, where is it? Salakia. Just because judgment is not meted out expediently. You know what I'm talking about? I think it's in Ecclesiastes.
You know more in the scripture? I think I know what you're talking about.
Because judgment is not meted out expediently doesn't mean, I'm paraphrasing now, doesn't mean that they're not going to get judgment.
Okay.
Hold on. Just because judgment is delayed. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11.
Ecclesiastes?
Yeah. You're going to get Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. You got it? Let me hear it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemies. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Read that part again.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 10.
Ecclesiasticus.
Ecclesiasticus.
That's it.
Chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy.
Always.
Never trust thine enemy.
Sometimes.
Never trust thine enemy.
So it says, never trust thine enemies.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So is his wickedness. Just like iron rust. It doesn't matter what type of high grade iron it is, whether it could be, 10 that goes on, the gutters, or high grade steel that surgeons use for scalpels. Doesn't matter. They're both going to rust. Now, one may rust at a slower rate than the other. One is poor white trash, and the other one is, that alt-right dude. You know what I'm talking about? Who you don't think is like that until he actually talks and speaks to you. Both of them are wicked. Both of them will rust. You just keep watching long enough, and they're going to show you how much they rust. Never trust thine enemies. Never trust your enemies. And in case you wonder who your enemies that he's talking about, that the scripture is talking about, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68, Baba Shah. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 68. I just want to show you what enemy we're talking about. Because this is the enemy we ain't supposed to trust. All right.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Okay, so it says the Most High will bring us into captivity. That's what Egypt means. It means captivity. He's going to bring us into captivity again. Why? Because we was in captivity before. You know what I'm saying? The small hats. This has nothing to do with the small hats. This has nothing to do with the small hats. They wouldn't last one generation. You think melanin? What do you call that? Skin cancer. You think skin cancer just happened, 50 years ago? You think they never had skin cancer before? Why why you think they wasn't in that area like that? You know what I'm saying? They went to places where the sun didn't shine as much as it did, you know, as it did in Egypt. You know what I'm saying?
No sunscreen.
No sunscreen. It's too hot to just wear, you know, a ton of clothes and whatnot. And if they took their clothes off, they getting what's the name of that cancer, man? That skin cancer. Is it melatonin? No, it's what's that skin cancer called? I'm gonna get it. Hold on. Now it ain't gonna escape me. Hold on. But you know what I'm talking about. Melanoma. Melanoma. You think they was up in there, you know, building the pyramids, you know, dressed how the way it looked like on the temple, where they was like, you know, basically shirtless and whatnot. You think they was up in there? It showed the slaves on those walls wearing braids. What Edomite wears braids? That's not trying to be like us. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
By the way, wherefore whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So the way you came from, the way I'm telling you, you're never going to see your homeland again. You're not gonna see it again until I bring you back. And until then, we've never seen our homeland. We've never known our homeland. I should say that's a better phrase. We've never known our homeland. We can get a passport and request permission to go over there to the state of Israel, but that's not our home. That's that place there right now is not our home. Filled with vagabonds, you know what I'm saying? Filled with heathens and whatnot. That's not our rest. There's a group of so-called black people that went over there, and I think they put them out by the doggone like nuclear power plant, like the place where nobody wants to go. Like, the Most High is supposed to put us in our place. We ain't supposed to, you know, go anywhere the Most High said we ain't supposed to go. And that's why most of us are over here in this hemisphere, North, Central, and South America, right? Keep reading.
And there ye shall be sold.
And there, once you get there, you're going to be sold. 5, 10, 50, 25, 35, 45, sold to the white man that don't use a wash rag. You know what I'm saying? And just like we are on them auction blocks or on game day, not on game day, but on in the combine and for the draft, how the way they looking at us and testing us, see how strong we are, how agile we are, how fast we are, how smart we are. Same thing went on back then. Same thing went on back then. They just picking and choosing different ways on how the way they're going to destroy us. There, once we get there, we'll be sold, right? Keep going.
Unto your enemies.
Unto your friends.
Unto your enemies.
Unto your equals.
Unto your enemies.
Unto your neighbors.
Unto your enemies.
When we got here, when so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, when we got here, because we're not the only ones that was put on slave ships, so-called Negroes. We're not the only ones that put on slave ships and brought across the Atlantic. You know what I'm saying? The so-called Native American Indians was the first ones to be put on slave ships and brought over there. How many of you knew that? They were the first ones. That happened in the 1400s when they took the so-called Negroes and the Benjamites and whatnot and the Levites. That happened in the 1600s. So they had a whole head start bringing our brothers over there. So when we got put on slave ships, cargo slave ships, put chains on us, got branded. When we got off the ships, what happened to us? And no, I'm asking you, what happened to us?
We were sold.
By who?
Our enemies.
And who in specific?
Esau?
Be free. Say it plain. Yeah. Exactly. You got sold to the British, you got sold to the Dutch, you got sold to the French, you got sold to the Portuguese, got sold to the Spaniard, you got sold to who? All these Edomites over there. All of them had a hand in our destruction. But most importantly, the Most High said we're going to be sold to our friends.
Enemies.
Got sold to our enemies. That's what the Most High calls them. He doesn't call us, equals or allies. He doesn't call them that. He doesn't call them allies. He doesn't call them, friends. He doesn't know. He says they're enemies. He says they're enemies. And in the book of Ecclesiasticus, it says never trust them. Never trust them. All right. Let's play some more on that.
Burning houses and buildings in horrible situations just to say they couldn't get to us. He said more times than he'd like to admit, he would hear screaming black people and children in burning buildings and houses and apartments and stores and cars, and he would literally just pretend he didn't hear it. He said his last time doing it was when he made eye contact with the baby that he deliberately went into a building to save and deliberately didn't. And he said that was the last time he did it, and he quit that year. He said the nightmare still hasn't stopped.
So the last time he did it was when he deliberately went into a building to save a child, a kid, a baby. That's what he said, a baby. Made eye contact with it and walked away. How much? And they call our brothers savages. Have the nerve to call us savages. And you look a baby in the eye and say, nah, I'm not going to save it. Really? This dude, that old man is a serial killer. How many people he let perish because of the color of their skin? They didn't have the right complexion for the protection. Are you serious? That's why you people have to go in chains. That's why you people cannot absolutely not be trusted. That's why you people have to be put in subjugation because of instances like that. Who leaves a baby to die? Who does that? Who gets millions of dollars of training? Because it costs a whole ton of money to properly fully train a firefighter, and then to keep them trained, and then to keep them employed. It costs so much money to get them to a certain point, and then to have them just neglect their duties. Are you serious? Not just neglect their duties. You leave someone to die. Leave them to die. A baby. He made eye contact. Man. Made eye contact with a baby. I remember, confession is good for the soul. I remember one time I was tired. I was working, 50 limb jobs. It was late and I had to get up early. And my son was a little youngin'. And he didn't want to go to bed. I'm like, go to bed. Put your pajamas on and go to bed. He was like, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. He was faking like, he couldn't do it. I was like, man, if you don't do this right now, you know what I'm saying? I said some choice words, and he took my bluff. Well, I ain't gonna say he took my bluff. He thought I was bluffing. Then I popped his leg. He moved quick and fast. But even right then and there, man, I was like, man, I felt so friggin' bad. Looking him in the eye, seeing how much pain he was in. And that was just a little pop on the leg. Someone who is scared to death, thinking that they're going to be, you know, no longer here. And you finally see somebody who's supposed to save you, somebody who fought their way in to get you, and then you make eye contact. Thank God I'm saved. I am saved. And then you see them, you see the countenance on their face change, and then turn away, and then go the other way. Man, if ghost was real, I hope and pray that ghost haunted him to the day he died. What kind of human being does that? A human being can't do that. A human being cannot do that. And that's why. Matter of fact, give me that scripture where it says, because of the sins, was it Obadiah?
Because of the sins of what?
Because of the sins against Jacob.
Because thou
has perpetual hatred. Yeah.
Ezekiel 35.
Ezekiel 35:5. You still got
it was something in Wisdom of Solomon. I don't remember what verse or what chapter. You just said Wisdom of Solomon something.
No, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11.
So that's correct. Ecclesiastes 8.
But you got Ezekiel 35? Okay.
Ezekiel 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
It says, because you have had an eternal hatred. That's what perpetual means. It means something that's ongoing, something that has always existed and will continue. You know what I'm saying? It will, once it starts going, it just won't stop. Like the Energizer Bunny. It just keeps going and going and going. Do they even make them commercials anymore? Because they had a perpetual and everlasting hatred for us. Keep going.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Man, that's right there. Right on point. Right on point. And because he didn't go in there and he had the ability, he had the motive, the opportunity, and the ability to actually go in there and save that baby, that child. But he didn't. He shed the blood. He shed the blood of the children of Israel. Keep going.
By the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
In the time of their calamity, right? That child was in a position where he couldn't help himself. If he or she could have helped themselves, they would have gotten up out of there. But they needed help. They needed absolute help. And this bastard, this old, decrepit, disgusting, no lip having bastard, looked at this child and said, nah, I'm good. I'm going to turn away and go my own way. Because it has a perpetual hatred. Keep going.
In the time that their iniquity had an end. Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God.
So he said, therefore, as I live. That's making you realize, hey, nigga, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. As long as just like I'm living, just like I'm breathing right here, keep going.
I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
And blood shall pursue you. You're going to, as in the words of Captain Mashak, he's going to bathe the streets of blood, bathe the streets of America in their blood.
Yeah, I'm right.
Christ is going to do that. You know what I'm going to do?
Call me outside.
That's Lord allow. Lord allow. If he allows me, you know what I'm saying? If I can endure to the end, man, I'm gonna have me some strong with my brothers. And I'm gonna say they deserve it. Every last one of them deserve it. Every last one of them deserve it. You had something?
Like the Bible say, happy shall you be.
Happy. Boy, I tell you. Man, kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost here.
Right.
It's almost here. You can almost taste it. What? Is that it on that? Is that it? That was it on the. No, keep going.
Sitteth, thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Blood's gonna pursue you. What does that mean? That blood's gonna pursue you? That means that that just as much destruction as you've caused is going to be caused right back on you. That's what's going to happen. Let's finish out this video because we're almost at the end of this, and I want to get the update to what he had to say as well. Brock.
And deliberately didn't. And he said that was the last time he did it, and he quit that year. He said the nightmare still hasn't stopped.
Good.
He still hasn't forgiven himself, and therapy helps, but it's still a living nightmare to have those.
This nigga said Slakia. This nigga said he hasn't forgiven himself. Nigga, really? I don't give a damn if you forgive yourself. You need to go to those families. Turn yourself in. So why are you enjoying all these birthdays when you unalived a whole ton of people?
It's like I had two things. This the dude he's talking about. This 90-year-old man, whatever he is. He's a white man.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what I just noticed in the video, he said therapy helps, but it doesn't. This is that. Like somebody's counseling you on how to handle these actions that you did. Said like that's some the oath or the privilege that these lawyers and you understand these therapy and this is gonna be just between us and stuff. Like I would tell you get out of my office. I can't help you with that right there. You understand? You want me to counsel you in therapy and make you feel comfortable about these nightmares that you have and about this thing right here. Some things it's surprising. I ain't gonna say surprising in that essence because of course we know the spirit and nature of this place and this society. But and this, for lack of a better term, is surprising to know that you understand that how the brother that said like the dude saying that he get therapy, and
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. 100% right. I saw this this documentary on child abusers, right? And they had this one child abuser. Well, that term, I'm not even going to say that term because I don't think I can say it. Can I?
Child abuse?
No, the other one.
Nah.
The pizza.
You say sexual offender.
Okay, well, you know what I'm talking about. That word, right? With the P.
Registry.
Yeah, yeah. So those people is like a medical term. It's a condition. I'm gonna say a condition. People have an attraction to underage kids, basically, right? So, in this documentary, there was a psychologist, a therapist, whatever, that said you don't have to actually physically act on those urges or those desires, as long as if you have them, you are one, right? So, there's one guy who never acted, according to him. He said he never acted on it. He was never physical with anybody, but he had those urges. So he was going to therapy to try and get him out of that space. The therapist took it upon herself, was like, you need to go to hell, basically, and get the hell out of my office, right? So therapists can actually pick and choose on who they want to say that to, but apparently they didn't say that to people who actually unalived children, women, and kids and men of all ages. They helping this old geezer to live with himself, but when they actually have the full capability and say, I don't want to help you, you need to go in the ground. You know what I'm saying? I hope you die of fright. You old, disgusting, wicked man.
Right.
But they don't. They choose to help this bastard. They choose to help this bastard. Keep going.
therapy helps, but it's still a living nightmare to have those memories.
Good.
And I guess that shit just shocked me so much because when it came to firefighters, I never thought of them like that. Like when it came to like police officers, lawyers, and judges, and everybody else, we knew they didn't give a fuck. Especially police officers, we knew they didn't give a fuck about us. But I don't know why that didn't click to me. That no, it was everybody that hated us. Everybody had a hand in deliberately making our lives worse. When I calmed down from being mad enough to want to pull the plug on his ass, I thought about it, and I was like, of course they did this. Of course they did this shit. Duh. Like, why was I even shocked? Like, of course. But it is something that I cannot think about for too long, because that visual of you fake going to save somebody and not saving them because of the color of their skin and the entire 911 understanding, because, oh yeah, you couldn't get Jamal. Oh well, just another one gone. Like that shit. I don't.
Crazy. Just like you said, of course they did this. Of course they did this.
Okay.
Everybody had a hand in our destruction. Everybody had a hand in our destruction. Now, like I said, we always thought about, cops, doctors, even the landlords who go out their way and try and do harm to us instead of helping us, when it would be easier to help us than it would be to go out their way to harm us. They would choose to go out their way to harm us. All these people had a hand in our destruction. You got something?
I put up the response as well on the screen.
Okay. We're about to get to that in a hot second. Now, all these mother... Get me Ecclesiastes 8 and... Is it 8?
8 and 11.
8 and 11?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. While he's getting that, let's play this video. Did anybody have anything online?
One second. No questions.
No question. Any comments?
Angel Guides commented a scripture, Micah 1:5-7, but that's it. I don't know if that's a question or they're trying to tee out. I don't know.
Who is that, Angel?
Angel Guides.
What did you want out of that scripture? Micah 1-7?
Micah chapter 1, verse 5-7.
So what was that? You was bringing out a precept, or did you want to break down on that? You had to give us a little bit more instead of just the scriptures that you got. Give me the video. Now this is an update. This is an update on what the brother had to say after he posted this encounter with this old deviant devil who got to live out the rest of his days with his friends and family. Yes, brother.
I forgot what chapter.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11.
Wow.
No sweat. You got it?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're gonna hold off on that. Hold off on that until let's get this response, Baba Bashar.
Me staring back at him, telling him. Conversation ended with him staring at me, making that last statement, and me staring back at him, telling him, I gotta finish my route. I hope you enjoy the rest of your birthday. The last thing he said is, I hate myself for it. And
Good.
I said, my boss is calling. I hope you enjoy the rest of your birthday. I've had so many people hit me up in my DMs to tell me that shit is still going on. So many 911 workers to tell me, so many nurses, so many cops, so many people tell me that shit is still going on. And it's weird because it's like, you ever find out some information you already knew the answer to? It's like, yeah, I know that, but to hear it out loud from people that know it for sure is way different.
I was gonna comment like it's so heavy like what the brother is bringing out in the context of like that's how important it is to speak on the truth and to empty out this dirty laundry because that's the drug, that's the Christianity right there. So it simply is just hearing it. Like we need to hear it again in order for us to recognize like, oh, this still happens, this still happens to this day, or damn, that is how they treated us, and damn, like, okay, these things just happen. This is how far gone Christianity has happened. Like, you get on a drug, certain drugs I ain't never been on, but I've heard stories. Certain drugs like make you feel like you are in a happy land. Like you get this drug and you could be in negative degree temperature, and you will feel like you're in in the middle of a field and it's nice weather and all this and above, and like in the spiritual, like that's damn near what Christianity does. Because this brother is amazed. He is full blown amazed to hear the story that took place, and then to receive these DMs from nurses and victims saying like, nah, I actually work with such and such that did such and such. And it's amazing. It's such a shock to us because Christianity literally fooled us or tricked us and taught us and conditioned us into believing that these things didn't happen, and that on top of that these things just these things just stop happening.
Yeah. Just because Civil Rights Act of 1967 got put in the law doesn't mean that white people don't hate black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a whole term of Karen, that comes out not because she wants to speak to a manager, but because she wants to stop niggas from existing. You know what I'm saying? None of this stuff has stopped. It just evolved. It has just evolved. Some people have gotten better at hiding it, and some people are getting more bold and brazen and talking about it. But I heard something happened in Philly not too long ago, where them Proud Boys came into Philly and tried to talk that mess, and got some hands laid on them. And I'm not talking about preachers. Them young boys, them young bulls, as they would call them out there, like, hey, you know where you at? Hey. But anyway, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Just like you said, these 911 workers, they see that it's still happening. They hit them up. They're like, yo, this is still happening. Commander General Yahanna did a interview with the woman cop who got fired for trying to stop another cop from beating up or unaliving a brother. They both cops. They're supposed to be on the same side, but one wasn't oppressing and one was Israel. And she stopped him from committing a crime, and she got fired. Man, this stuff never. Only way it's going to stop is when Christ comes back and puts the world back in order. And what's the order? God, Christ, Israelites. You know what I'm saying? The 144.
Right.
Then the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody else. Y'all know what a pyramid is, right? The very top is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And everybody else is at the bottom. At the very bottom is Esau. One level up is Ham. I don't care whoever's in between there. It doesn't matter. Just as long as Ham and Esau is right there at the bottom. Right there at the bottom. You had something?
No.
All right, let's keep going with that. Bogshaw.
I don't know why he chose to tell me, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only black person that he stopped and told this shit to. Just don't understand how somebody can be so evil and just one day not be. How a society can can give birth to and breed so many heartless, soulless people for them to just wake up one day and be like, maybe we made a mistake. And this is just one of the few of them that feel like they actually made a mistake. A lot of them feel like it was nothing wrong with what they were doing and wish everything was still the fucking same. Here's the thing.
Yeah. Make America great again.
Incident happened over 3 months ago. I recorded that video 3 months ago. It's been in my draft that long. I didn't want to fucking post it, but for whatever reason, I could not delete the shit. So the other day when I was going through all my drafts and I was looking and I was going through and trying to figure out what to post, I kept seeing that shit, and I swear to God, something said, post it now. Post it now. Because I usually just delete them after a couple of days if I don't post them. But something said, post it now. Right fucking now. And I did. And I really wish he didn't tell me this shit, because me being cursed with the burden of that information did nothing but fuel my imagination, and now I can't get the images out my fucking head. But also, we have images of.
Salagi, if I made like that's like right there, Salagi, if I made like, as he said, I wish he didn't tell me, because after he told me, it really that put this fuel in me that made me mad. Like that right there is oppression making the wise man mad. Like right then and there, he needed that story. And so many of us in the world need it, because like as he just said, it's like before that he was not angry. Before that he had this idea that oppression didn't exist. You understand? He would have been one of the brothers while we out there in camp bringing out the scriptures, talking about, you understand, all of the things that have happened to us and still happen to us, and saying, man, not all white people is this. That's in the past, man. So he was like, we gotta move forward. We gotta move forward. It's the past. And it's like, it's what that brother went through. It sucks to say, but that is just the thing that it highlights, that you really gotta hear this thing come out for you to realize like you are oppressed. And that's why I see why the Christian church don't ever say this type of stuff out of their mouth. There's many firefighters in that church. There's many of them that go to church. You know what I mean? There's many firefighters and police officers. They all go to church. Nobody speaks on it. So you're not mad. You're not mad at all. It's ridiculous. A lot.
And it's righteous to have that rage. The Most High put that, rage upon you so that you can wake up and realize they not like us. They as much as they have done to us, and we still forgive them. You know what I'm saying? Give them a pass. They not like us. They don't deserve our passes. They don't deserve our forgiveness. Not in the least. Not even in the least. After all the things that has happened to us, and all the things that the people who said I've never done it, but they know who's done it and never said anything about it, allowed it to go on. That's why you must be put under, the jail. And what's going to be under the jail? A whole lot of work. A whole lot of work. Why? Because when the Most High allows this world to be destroyed, this is society, it's going to have to get rebuilt. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to need a mansion. I'm going to need several. I'm going to need big houses with many rooms in it to house the many chillins, and many ribs that as I can handle. You know why? Because I ain't got a slave no more. I ain't got, and the earth needs to be repopulated.
You got time now.
Right? Right?
I got time.
Yeah. The earth needs to be repopulated, and work needs to be done. There needs to be more and more slave masters to be made once World War III ends. You know what I'm saying? Get me Ecclesiasticus, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11.
For anybody who's thinking that this bastard is going to get away with it, read this.
Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
So just because he did this in the 60s and 70s, and he's speaking about it in 2023, 2024, doesn't mean he escaped it. And don't think, having some nightmares means he didn't escape. He's gonna pay. He's gonna pay very dearly, more dearly than what he's, what's going on with him right now. Keep going.
Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Verse 12. Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear God.
So just because this bastard, got this see his 89th birthday, it's good that you're gonna for those that fear God. And those that fear God are not the people who bow down and worship this bastard. They don't fear God. They hate God. If you think this is God, this is your Savior, Lord and personal Savior, and you have a personal relationship with him. 1, you belong to the community. 2, you belong to the community. You have something?
And they say he gonna forgive them.
He ain't gonna forgive nothing. He ain't gonna.
The firefighters.
What's that?
He gonna say the firefighters say they go to him and say forgive us.
Yeah. The firefighters will gain forgiveness from him, but this dude is all out of nigga forgiveness. He ran out of nigga forgiveness. I don't even think he ever had him. Yeah, he ain't never had him. Uncle Ruckerson can't even get a nigga forgiveness. Keep going.
Which fear before him. 13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before God.
Okay, so they're basically saying just because a sin is not executed speedily doesn't mean that he gonna get away with it. Does not mean he's gonna get away with it. This is another scripture, just for time's sake, I'm gonna give it to you. But scripture says, "Prepare slaughter for the children of them that for the iniquity of their fathers." So now his kids are gonna have to get it because he about to check out. But it's okay because he's gonna be right back to the crack of a whip.
Right.
He may never know who his real mother is. just like how the way they did our fathers, our families. There's some of us who grew up without a father, not even a father, but a father figure, not even in the house, but in the neighborhood. That's going to happen to them. He's going to come back to that. There won't be no father figure in his community, which will be in a barn. He's going to be sleeping on some hay. Horses will sleep better than him. I will put heaters in the horses barn, but the slave quarters, nah, that's valuable wood.
Right.
What did Ivan Drago say? If he dies, he dies. So what did you say?
Nah, but to say body is the best seat. Y'all better get close. I know
hey, yeah.
Get close. Somebody don't feel good. You got work in the morning.
Yeah, you got work in the morning.
When you say niggas got work in the morning. Crackers got work in the morning.
Yeah. They got work. They're gonna have, the whole kingdom needs to get built off their backs. It ain't gonna be times where they're only gonna have one kid. Nah, they're gonna have 4, 5, 6 double figures. What Rihanna say? Work. Anyways,
if I may, it get real funny. I don't want to hear no slave tunes. I don't want to hear none of it. You already can't make a song to save your life. I don't want to hear none of that. On the field, building and working and just the sweating. I don't hear no slang start to develop. Nothing. I would just say as y'all.
Man, bro, I gonna run a hard game. Yo, you mess around with me, I'm gonna send your ass up to Brock.
Swing low, nothing.
I'm gonna send your ass. You don't want to go down over there, but they gonna be entertaining me. That's right. You know how Fiddler, Fiddler? How he had to go and play the fiddle? Yeah, they gonna entertain me. Whenever I calls for it. So they're going to have to learn how to sing and dance. They're going to have to learn how to do all that stuff. Because I need to be, are you not entertained? They're going to have to be the entertainer. Yeah. But with that, is there anything else online?
Let me check real fast.
Anything else in the class?
Nothing.
No? All right. With that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Barack.
Most high praise, we got the security announcements with the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Commander Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves in the world. After this 6-month period, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming holy convocation, we got the memorial of the blowing of trumpets, which is the first day of the 7th month. That'll be Wednesday, October 2nd of this year. You can find that in Leviticus chapter 23, verses 24 through 25. As that high holy day or memorial approaches, you understand, you want to get in contact with your camp leader. The information will be put out as to where it's going to be held out in your particular zone. If you have any questions and all that above, you want to get those arranged through your camp leader. As well, we are in the season of the cookouts in the I.S.U.P.K, right? We just finished off with Atlanta. Give Atlanta a hand, right? Atlanta did an amazing job in the spirit of the Lord in Christ, right? Next up, that's going up would be
Midwest.
The Midwest. I don't see the date on this one. I don't see the date on the Midwest one. I know it's in the video. Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
Should be right beside it.
I got Atlanta, Detroit, New York, SoCal, and Houston. I don't see no Midwest one. Get that date for it in just 1 second.
Detroit. It's in Detroit.
August 1st? Oh, it's being held in Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit.
I'm thinking this Salakia. I'm thinking something else. Salakia. Detroit. Oh, it's going to be in August. The Midwest 5 weekend is going to be held in Detroit. August 1st through the 4th. August 1st through the 4th. You understand? If you plan on making it, make your arrangements. They do have hotels set up and all these and above that has that's going to be close by to the events. As well, Commander Yahanna is going live on this channel tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tune in, leave a like, leave a share, repost it. You understand? Put it on your timelines. Get active in the comments section. You understand? Some good news that's going to come out on this channel. Once again, Commander Yahanna, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is there anything else you want to add right there?
Yes. You gave a hand to Atlanta for the first cookout. That's where we're having the Passover. The Lord's 56th annual Passover is going to be in Atlanta, right? All right. The dates will be soon to come. Stay in tune for the hotels and all that stuff. But just prepare for Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Prepare for the 8th.
Remind Akim and Akwati to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If our brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black hair, and a scarf. And with that, I say Amajim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courteous salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Judgment Class dismissed.